So this is gonna be a nice editing tutorial for everybody. I've had a few questions about it. I've had some friends ask me. I've had people in my live streams say they wish they knew how to edit. I'm gonna get those people into the basic realm of being the most basic scale editor of all time. That's where the most cloud is nowadays, so better use that tip now before it ends. Scaling is probably one of the fundamentals of editing an anime, or anything really, because when you're doing scales, you're practically just doing either a zoom in or a zoom out, Damn it. Shit, I'm already bad at this already. I can't do this for much longer. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna use good old Big Titty Boo Esdeath, and she's gonna be one of the cool cats for this part. So first thing is first. You're gonna learn how to scale. So, to scale, you press the S key. And you see in the little small words right there, with the little time stopper watch and everything, is a scale. Now there's two different types of scales. There are zoom in scales and there's zoom out scales. Click on this time stopping watch right here. Fucking car going off right now. These keyframes are going to be the most important part, because if you don't have them, then the whole thing's practically useless to you and you can't do it. Your default scale is going to be at 100. Change that 100 to something like 250. I changed mine to 250 because that's just what I would typically do. Go to the middle, or whatever part, I guess, which is close to the middle to you. I'm assuming. I don't fucking care, dude. Then go to the middle, type in 100. Make sure it's just like that. Now, at the end, you're going to make it 250 again. To go in and out, just like that. Now, really, I see no point in doing it to this scene, but it's, for example, I'm just gonna do it just like that. So, of course, you just can't make it look just like that, because that shit looks stupid ugly. Look at what you're going to do. You're going to highlight this whole thing and press F9. That is going to make everything look completely different. Look at that, that looks fucking cool, right? Yeah, that's to make your scale look better. So, you're going to click on this thing right here, brings you into your graph editor. You're going to drag this thing down. Drag both of these sides down. Now this part is what matters the most. This part right here, you can drag this all the way in to have a more sharper bump, I'm assuming. You can drag it out, not too much, but just a little close to it. That's the cleanest way that I can make my scales look. Now for the second part, what you're going to do, you're going to do the exact same thing. You can just Control C, Control V it if you want to, and pray to God that it is like the same length. Lucky for me, it's the same length. So you gotta do the same thing for that. And that is how you would, basically just do a scale just like that. Here comes the fun part. Here is how you kind of scale out. So I'm going to delete these keyframes because I don't need them no more. They're useless to me. What you're going to do, you're going to keep this at a normal 100. Go in the middle, or do whatever you want to do that's close to the middle, I'm assuming. Now, for this part here, for the middle part, make it a number bigger than 100. You can do 130. You can do 144. Personally, I do 144 because that's just what I normally do. Then near the end, you go right back down to 100. Then, you're going to do the same thing as before, highlight all the keyframes, press F9, Go into your graph editor, and now for this part, it's the same way as doing the other scale, but instead of you going down, you're gonna go up. Right here, you can drag these to the right side to the right, drag the left side to the left, and that is how you would do that. And of course, you know, if you want to do more, then you can just copy paste the whole thing. That's how it would normally look if you would do that. One thing I hate the most, simply because I overuse them a lot, and I can never use them right. But I'm gonna teach you how to do them anyways. Do a rotation. For both your clips, you need to keep it like that the whole time, right? So press R. If you press R, it's gonna go right to your rotation. At the end, or in the middle, near the end, or do whatever you want to do, press the stopwatch. And then you're gonna get a keyframe. Press O to go to the end of your keyframe. Now what I typically do, you can do like 30, you can do a positive 30, do a negative 30, you can do a negative 74, positive 74, it doesn't really matter, you can do whatever you want to do. But press F9, highlight the two keyframes, press F9, go into your graph editor. Now this isn't like scales, this is completely different. If you're on the negative end, what you're going to do is that you are going to drag this all the way up. Right side up. Drag your left side to the right. Don't want to go too far in, don't want to go too far out. Just keep it a little subtle, I'm assuming. And then it'll do your rotation for you. Now the black bars, that's an issue right there. What you need to do, you need to add your motion tile. Now me, I have my own motion tile preset, but this is not for 1080p animes, so you're gonna have to reset that. But that's cool though. All that will be in the description below, because I'm just a good man. So of course, when it comes to rotations, they don't look the best when it comes to a zooming out scale. But I'll make an exception for this one because it doesn't look that bad, plus it'll go super fast anyways. For the second clip, we're gonna have to mess with the rotation too. So you see how at the end it's negative 74. Well, for this side you're gonna have to make it positive 74. So it'll make the full rotational, you know, like the full rotation into what it is. So you do the next. So you do the positive of the negative number, so you basically switch the numbers around. Then at the end when your rotation is done, you put a 0 down so it will reset into being the exact same thing. What you want to do, highlight everything, press F9, go into your graph editor, and for this part it's different. So since we're messing with positives instead of negatives, it's going to be the exact same way, but instead for this being dragged up here for the right side, the left side is going to be dragged down, and the right side is going to be dragged to the left or the right, depending on what you want to do to it. Typically I drag it to the left more to make it more subtle, make it look nicer. So of course, black bars, you know, just add your motion tile to it, and it should look just like that. That's how our rotation should normally be. Just like that, the most easiest thing ever. Now next thing you need to learn is shakes. I'm going to use Twitch. So of course, for Twitch, you're gonna change your amount, keyframe it at 100, bring it like near towards the end of your flip, and bring it down to 0. And then you can mess with your speed too and all that if you want to. I think he would set the speed, probably say about 15. And kind of go to the same area where you ended there and bring it to 0. Then go to enable and enable slide. If you enable your slide, that's gonna have your shake right there. But, of course, you know, as your typical one, you're going to have to you're going to have to easy use them by pressing F9. And you're going to make them a nice good old shake. Just like that. Really just like that. It's the most easiest thing you could possibly ever do. Making a shake on Twitch isn't the worst thing ever. Making a shake on Twitch is probably one of the easiest things ever you could probably do. And there you go. That's how you make a shake on Twitch. And of course, you can copy your Twitch settings and paste it onto whatever. And that is how you would combine all those together. And yeah, I mean, if you want to get into it more, then of course leave a comment or something.